Hey guys, Sean C. Phillips here, the brand new DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shop mirror today. Today gonna go out, see what things came out today. Gonna go back to the one thrift shop that I used to go to every week, but I've missed getting there for like at least 3 weeks now. So see if they have anything new there, because that one sometimes I find some stuff. Also gonna go to a couple other spots today as well. Also at the end of this video, I'm gonna have some new DVD and Blu-ray reviews, some new titles from Arrow Video US, as well as the brand new Ghostbusters, reboot film, and a couple other titles as well. Also this weekend, gonna have my new DVD Blu-ray update as well, this Saturday, so definitely stay tuned for that one as well. Anyway though guys, let's get going and see what we can find today. Into Target we go. Yeah, and one of the big things that came out today was, the Ghostbusters remake, reboot. And this one, I don't think they have any exclusive editions of this one in here. I know there's going to be exclusive editions, I believe, at Bestbuy, and I think Walmart might have one. I have to see, though. I don't know for certain yet, but it doesn't seem like there's anything specific. The only thing they have here is, like, get free M&Ms or Starburst, with this. I think that's the only thing I see here, though, but no, like, exclusive editions. I'll have to look in the section, though, but I don't see anything in here as far as I can tell. Well, actually, in the section, I do see one here, an exclusive one that says, only a Target exclusive bonus disc. It says in here, recreating the world of Ghostbusters. So there is a version here. It wasn't in the front of the store, but there is an exclusive one. And it's the same price for that one as well, but there's not too many copies of this exclusive one here. The other thing that came out today was Tarzan, and then the other one was Bloodfather with Mel Gibson. I actually thought this one was actually pretty good. Kind of like him doing like a Taken type film, sort of that kind of vibe, about trying to, stop these people that are after his daughter, but it was actually a pretty decent one. And one of the other ones that came out today was this Bryan Cranston movie, The Infiltrator, which I don't know a ton about this one. Let me know, guys, if this one's worth checking out or not. I know it's him and John Leguizamo, but don't know how this one is or not. And they also have the Davinci Code, the 4K one, and Angels and Demons as well. And I think this one was today as well, this movie Breaking a Monster, but don't know much about this one. And the only other thing I see that came out today, and they have an exclusive one here as well, of Ice Age Collision Course, which has an exclusive bonus disc as well for this, with 25 minutes of behind-the-scenes footage and character extras. So that's kind of cool if you guys are interested in that. It seems like Target has a lot of these exclusive bonus disc things. Into Big Lots we go. Well, we're seeing everything new in Big Lots. It seems like they've been a little bit picked over in this location lately, because a lot of the areas over here are totally empty. Here, this is all empty, so there's nothing on it at all. But we'll see if they have anything different. Sometimes it seems like they have periods of time when they get in tons of new stuff, and other periods when it's just really, really picked over. They used to have too, big areas in here with tons of different titles, but lately it just seems like there's not as much in here anymore. Like I said, I think there's certain times when they get in a bunch of new stuff, and then when that's gone, they don't really have anything else for a while. I haven't seen these ones in here though, the Three Stooges, which I actually like this one. I know a lot of people, thought this wasn't great, but I thought for what it was kind of fun. And I heard at some point they were doing a sequel to this, but I don't know if it's not going to happen anymore or not, because I feel like it's been kind of a while. And then this one I haven't seen in here before either, this Stallone movie Bullethead, which I don't remember. I don't think this one was that great. I can't remember though, and I don't think I've seen Anaconda in here before either. This is the, the Mill Creek edition one of that one, but that seems to be pretty much all that's in here today, as far as I can tell. Nothing really that different besides those ones. Into the Valley Thrift Store we go. So we're taking a look in here and see if they have anything different. It seems like they've really restocked and a bunch of new stuff in here. And this Real World thing here, Real World Chicago, they don't put these kind of things out anymore. MTV seems like all their releases now, things like Catfish and stuff, are all pretty much burn-on-demand titles and stuff, now for the most part. But we're going to look through here and see, but as far as I can tell, like I said, it seems like there's a whole bunch of new stuff, and there's a bunch of stuff down here as well. So we got to look through all this stuff, because you never know in here. I have found some pretty decent things in here in the past. They always have shoes and stuff all strewn throughout here. There's always real bad crying kids and stuff in here, but we'll look through here and see what we can find. Yeah, nothing really in there. I really looked through everything for a while. There was a bunch of new stuff, but nothing out of print or rare or anything. Somebody brought in a whole bunch of horror titles, but they were all pretty common, After Dark Horror Fest ones and that kind of stuff, but nothing really rare or different as far as I could tell. Into Deborah's next to new thrift store we go. Yeah, I just randomly found this thrift store and they got a whole bunch of VHS and DVDs. It's one of those things I just like drove by and saw. It's not on Yelp or anything. That's the pain about a lot of these kind of thrift stores and stuff. They're not on Yelp, so you kind of just have to like discover them and like, you know, just sort of come across them and like be looking around. And somehow I've been driving by this one like every time going to the other one, and I've never noticed it was here. And it looks like they've got a bunch of different stuff in here and kind of some sort of different stuff you don't really see. Like, you don't really see Jurassic Park movies on Blu-ray or a lot of these things, and Doubt. So I'm gonna look through all this and see. I don't know what the prices on these are. Like, I don't know how much these 6 Feet Unders are or not, because these are ones I don't have all these. And like, this is one of those shows that I always absolutely love this show, but you know, it's one of those things you can't really go back and watch it because it's like so sad, especially how the show ends. But it's kind of cool to see them in here. And like I said, I don't know. Oh yeah, so it's like $12. So I don't know if everything is individually marked, so like $5. So they're a little high. Like some of these are a little high for $5. Yeah, so $5. So they're a little higher, but you know, if there's anything out of print in here, I'll definitely like let you guys know at the end. But I'm gonna look through all this and see what I can find. And this is kind of funny, in the VHS section, like, look at this really old Easter Beagle Charlie Brown VHS. It's from 1986 from Media Home Entertainment. Like, and I think it opens up like this. So that's kind of cool how it opens up like this. And I guess these are the other things that are on there, but this is like a really, really old tape. Like, I can't recall seeing this one ever. I think these are all, yeah, these are all $1 in here, so I don't think that's a bad price for that one. That's kind of cool, old one. Like I said, I've never seen this one ever. At least this version of this. And they have the Star Wars, you know, trilogy, the original one. These are, you know, the not special edition ones. I remember having this one as a kid. These are the ones that, you know, were not the ones with stuff added. It's funny too, they have this. This is like near the end, I believe, like near the end of VHS, when they were putting like digitally mastered THX sound, you know, widescreen edition. That was kind of a funny thing they were doing. I think this was like right when, I believe, when DVD was coming out, and then they were like trying to like hold on VHS, and they were doing like widescreen VHS tapes. I'm pretty sure about that. But like I said, there's definitely some pretty different things in here I'm seeing. Into the pawn shop we go. Well, I'm in here, and it doesn't seem like they've updated anything since the last time I was in here. Like, at one point they had tons of stuff, but it's been like a number of weeks since it seems like they've gotten anything new in. So as far as I can tell, it seems like all the same titles I've seen in here for the last couple of weeks, and nothing new. Last time I found those, you know, Nickelodeon shows for really cheap, but it doesn't seem like there's any other new TV shows or anything like that they've gotten in the last while down here. Into FYE we go. And a lot of people have asked me where to find, you know, Salem's Lot and Cat's Eye and It in stores, and actually they sell them in stores at FYE, so that's pretty cool. They're only $12.99 in here. They had Cat's Eye in the front, so if you guys are trying to find these in a store, you can definitely get them in FYEs. And they also have in here Blood Diner sold in stores as well, so it's another kind of rare one to see in stores, so that's pretty cool. They carried that. And they have a Halloween setup here for Halloween time of a bunch of Scream Factory titles on sale here, and as well as Chopping Mall. So that's pretty cool. They're carrying these, like I said, in the store. So if you guys are trying to find them, definitely head to an FYE to see if they have them at your store. And they had a bunch of different stuff here as well for $1. Some pretty decent kind of random stuff. And I actually think they were 50 cents on most of these because they were half off. And they had Philomena here for $1, which was a pretty good price for that one. Into Walmart we go. Yeah, right in the front they have a Ghostbusters one here. It has like exclusive socks in that. I've never seen them have socks come with the movie. I've only ever seen like t-shirts. That's kind of interesting. Exclusive, you know, Ghostbusters socks gift set one. It seems like that one's $22.99 for this, you know, version, and the regular Blu-ray is $19.96. And over here they have this one thing here that has only at Walmart all the 5 Ice Age movies together in a set like this. It seems to only be on DVD as far as I can tell, but that's kind of cool, all of them together in one set like that. Like I showed in the front to that edition with the socks in it. But they have one thing here that I definitely wanted to get. This was going to come out a while ago, and then like the release got delayed on this one. But it's, you know, the Girl in the Photographs, which is one I definitely wanted to see. This one, I think it might be on Netflix, but I think it's like $12.99 in here. So I'm definitely going to get this one because this is one I've been wanting to see for a while now. Like I said, the release of this was going to be a while ago, and then it got delayed for quite a number of months. But over here in the section, I don't see anything else different from last week. I think the only thing I didn't see on the shelf last week was Satanic, the Sarah Hyland movie, which I actually thought this one was pretty decent. And I don't recall seeing this Feed the Evil one on the shelf either. But other than that, I don't see anything else in here too different. But like I said, I'm definitely going to get this one, because this is one I was interested in seeing. Like I said, it was delayed for quite a while. Yeah, like I said, though, I ended up picking up this one, though. Like I said, don't know tons about it, but I kind of like the cover, and it kind of sounds interesting, though. And I'm wanting to see this one for a while. Like, I believe it's on Netflix, but still wanted to pick this one up. Into Best Buy we go. And in Best Buy, they have, for Ghostbusters, an exclusive, pop art Steelbook one here. So that's a pretty cool Steelbook one. But this one, I think this is the original movie. So, definitely, if you're picking this up, make sure you don't accidentally grab this one by mistake. You're trying to grab the new movie. Because if you weren't paying attention, you could definitely pick that one up. But they have all these stuff out for the new ones, like this double pack one of the original 2 movies. And then this Steelbook of the second movie. It's a pretty cool Steelbook, though, for the second one. I always love the second movie, and then they have the 4K ones here as well. And they have in here this Steelbook 2 for Davinci Code, so that's kind of cool. Exclusive Steelbook for Davinci Code, in the pop art style cover one. And these ones came out today, the 4K releases. And I think there might have been a Steelbook of the Angels and Demons. I can't tell if that might have sold out or not. But other than that in here, I don't think there was too much else besides, I showed this in Target, Bloodfather. But other than that, I think that was all of the main things that came out today. Wasn't a huge release week besides, Ghostbusters. But don't see too much else in here today, though. Well, that's all for this DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping fair today. The only thing I got was the girl in the photographs. It was actually one of those ones that I wanted to, get if I actually saw it in stores. Other than that, not too much else out today besides Ghostbusters, which I'm going to have a review of that at the end of this video coming up. But anyway, though, guys, now stay tuned for a couple of new DVD and Blu-ray reviews. And the first one I got from Error Video USA is a movie called Vamp, which is one I had not seen this movie in years, but absolutely love this one. It's basically, though, about these 2 guys who are trying to pledge to get into this fraternity, and they're going through all these crazy rituals and trying to scare him, and the one guy's acting like he's been killed, and they're like, listen, is there any way we can skip all these rituals and all this hazing, and we can just, is there anything you guys need, anything you want and we can do for you guys? Do you want money? What do you need so we can just skip all this and just immediately be in the fraternity without having to go through all this rituals and hazing, all this kind of business they have to deal with? And they're like, well, okay, listen, if you can get us a stripper for our party we're having tonight, we'll let you in. That's all you have to do is bring us a stripper. We know you're cool then, and we'll let you be in this fraternity. So they're like, okay, yeah, we'll do this. Of course, though, these guys don't have a car. They don't know how they're going to do this, and they have one guy that they know from school is this rich guy who has this really nice car, and they talk him into letting him take the car, but he's like, listen, I want to come along, and I want to be your friend. And they're like, oh, I don't know about that. They're like, well, let me be your pretend friend for a week. Let me, hang around you guys, do what you guys do. So, just basically hang around and be your friend for a week. So it's a kind of funny concept, and they're like, okay, and they end up going down to the city, and the car, they almost get in an accident, the car keeps spinning around and around and around, and then they end up right out front of this old dive kind of strip club bar. And the movie definitely inspired, From Dusk Till Dawn. It definitely has that concept, because they go into this bar, really weird type place, and there's all this weird stuff going on because Grace Jones, who plays the head stripper at this bar, and it's a bar full of vampires, basically, though, they're kind of taking homeless people and people who kind of have no friends and stuff like that. They come to the bar and kind of drinking their blood and stuff, and they end up mixing up and thinking that because the friends kind of separate when they get to this bar, and one of the friends ends up getting seduced by Grace Jones's character, and her killed, or you're not sure if he's killed or not exactly what happened, because when people get turned into a vampire, you don't know what's going to happen. But basically, though, the one friend has gone missing, and he's trying to find him and figure out what's going on at the same time, trying to figure out how they're going to get a stripper to come back to this party. And it becomes a huge to-do of a night with all kinds of problems. Really, really fun 80s movie. Like I said, I don't know how I had not seen this one in so many years, but amazing new transfer on this one. And has on here, though, a making of on this, and they got a making of documentary. They got a number of the cast members in this, and it also has behind the scenes rehearsals here, blooper reel for this one as well. But like I said, really love this one. Also really love the artwork on this one. This is another one I had not seen in a long time, and I used to always kind of think of this as like with Squirm, because like Squirm was about like killer worms and stuff like that. This is about killer slugs, and like because slugs are not like super creepy, but like the creepy aspect of this was they took it to like the extreme levels of gore, and this movie is called Slugs, and this is a Arrow U.S. release as well, and this is basically though about this guy who's like trying to investigate because like people are having these strange deaths going on around town, and they can't exactly figure out what it is, and the one guy is kind of becomes convinced that it's slugs that are doing this because it looks like the blood's been strained from them, and he's like telling them about this, and they're all like, what are you talking about? And they're not like believing him that this is all happening as a result of slugs. And it's a really ridiculous concept, but there's some really insane sequences in here of like people covered with slugs and all these like really grossed out gore effects. And if you guys like Squirm, it's definitely got that kind of vibe to this one of real over the top with the gore. Because like I said, slugs on their own aren't like really creepy, but what makes it kind of like cool with this movie is like just the level of gore that they go to with this, and just the insane sequences in this of just trying to, figure out what's going on, and him trying to convince people that it is slug attacks. But has on here though a brand new 2K restoration of this one, and has on here though a commentary track with the author on this one, commentary track with the writer on here, and then interviews with one of the actors, and then a thing on here too about the effects. Also has a reversible artwork which has the old cover. I never saw this, this artwork for Slugs as well, this one. But I love too when they get new artwork for these releases, because this is a very cool new cover for this one. Like I said, if you like movies about like killer worms and all those kind of, if you guys like Squirm too, I would definitely recommend this. And the guy who directed this also directed Pieces. The next one from Sony is the brand new Ghostbusters reboot, which this movie has gotten like a lot of mixed opinions and things like that about it, and then some people didn't even see it. And like the thing is, I actually like this for what it was. I've always been a huge fan of the Ghostbusters movies. I remember seeing the second one in theaters. I remember saw the first one when they like played it again, like when I was a kid. They like brought it back to theaters. I remember so basically I saw both of the original ones in theaters, but I remember the second one the best. I was really young when I saw it, but I do remember seeing it. But always been a fan of these, and this is basically about Kristen Wiig's character and Melissa McCarthy's character, who they wrote this book about ghost hunting and things like that. And Kristen Wiig's character is now a teacher, and she's trying to get this higher position. And the book has kind of come out about this, and it kind of is ruining her reputation at the school. And she ends up getting let go because of this book, and because of the bad reputation. It's like because people are kind of laughing about this book about the ghosts. So she ends up seeing Melissa McCarthy's character, and she gets told about this ghost encounter at this museum, and they kind of come back together again, and they start to try and actually do something with their knowledge of ghosts. And because the city is starting to have ghosts coming up, and it's kind of the origin of the brand new story of Ghostbusters, and kind of how they come together and all the the ghosts that they come across. But I really did like this one. It has on here though the extended edition of the movie, which I think it was I can't remember exactly how many minutes longer the extended one is in here. I think it's like 15 minutes, something like that. I can't see on the back exactly. Yeah, no, yeah. The theatrical one is 117 minutes. The extended one is 134 minutes. So it's like 17 minutes or so. But it has on here tons and tons of features on here. They really went all out with the features. It has on here 2 gag reels, 4 deleted scenes, 11 alternate scenes on here, and then as well as some outtakes on here, and a whole bunch of stuff. So they really went all out with the features for this release of this one. But like I said, I think you guys really should definitely give this one a chance. And it says right here 15 minutes more as I look to the front. But it really does, though, I would say, is worth checking out if you guys are a fan of Ghostbusters. And like I said, just take this as a totally different movie. And they also got tons of cameos from the originals and, Ghostbusters. And they got Bill Murray in there, I would say, is the longest of all the cameos. And I liked how they had them used in there. I think Dan Aykroyd should have been a little longer, his part. But I really like this. Like I said, it's not no way near, though, as good as the originals. But still, I thought is a fun film, though. And the next one's from Sony as well, a Davinci Code and Angels and Demons. These are, 2 Tom Hanks movies directed by Ron Howard. These are basically these new editions. And these ones are not the extended cut ones. They have the extended cut scenes of them, on them as features, or some of the scenes as features on here. These ones are to promote as well the new film, Inferno, which comes out I think like a week or so, which I'm actually definitely interested in seeing that one. I actually saw both these ones in theaters. I actually like these ones. They're good like mystery movies with Tom Hanks Basically, though, I remember too when the first one came out, it was really cool too because it filmed in a whole lot of different locations. There were like areas that really had never been shot at before, so it was like one of the first movies to shoot at them. This is actually the 10th anniversary edition of the Davinci Code. It's basically though about like this murder that was happening, and it all involves like stuff going on with the church. And there was like, I always remember too the one guy who was like whipping himself, and there was some really crazy sequences in this, like religious imagery sequences and things trying to investigate like what like the connection to all this, and dealing with like stuff that was kind of locked up in the archives and weird type of religious things that never really kind of were like buried away, and him trying to kind of investigate these things and try and figure out exactly what, how these murders had happened, how this murder had happened, and figure out what the meaning of this was and how this connects to these religious imageries and all this kind of locked away stuff. The second one though dealt with these cardinals that were, ended up kidnapped and him trying to find them. I actually, like I said, really like these movies, and has on here new features on both of them. On, the Da Vinci Code, it has here brand new interviews with Tom Hanks, Ron Howard, and like I said too, the scenes from the extended cut. And then it also has some features, I believe it were on the last one, the past releases, scene select commentary track as well. And this one also has on here new interviews as well. And then a first look, and I think they both have first looks, at Inferno as well. And then a number of other features from the past releases, though. So like I said, if you guys are a fan of these ones, definitely check these out, the new editions of, Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons. And the next one here is one, I had never seen this one. It's a show that's on Crackle. It's done by the people who work on Robot Chicken, so it's got that kind of cool, kind of clay animation type, and it's called Super Mansion. This is from Sony as well. This is basically about like this really old superhero that kind of is like, everybody kind of wants him to kind of go away and kind of like, retire because he's very old and he's kind of bumbling, and it's like him and a group of these other superheroes kind of going around trying to solve crime, but he's kind of dealing with, like I said, people kind of trying to make him go away and kind of looking at him like, why is he still doing this? And this whole group are all bumbling fools and they don't really know what they're doing. Like I said, it's definitely got that humor and look of Robot Chicken. It's got a number of cool people doing voice work in this one. It's got, Bryan Cranston playing the main old superhero in this. It's got Chris Pine, Nick Kroll, Ron Perlman, tons and tons of guest stars in this. Seth Green. So if you guys are a fan of this show or have not seen this one, definitely check this out. It also has all the episodes are uncensored as well. This is one that this is a UK release, so keep this in mind. So it's a Region 2 release from Kaleidoscope Entertainment. This is one that I have been wanting to see for so long, and it's a movie called Holidays, which is an anthology horror movie that all deals with things that happen during set during holidays. Like there was like a Christmas, there was Mother's Day, there was I think Father's Day. I'm trying to remember all of them. There was Easter. The one I liked, I think it was the Halloween one that Kevin Smith directed, I loved, because it was ridiculous. It had the one guy from, Epic Mirror Time, Harley, and he kind of was like managing these cam girls, and he was really mean to them, and he basically had this house they all lived at, and they had to go camming and stuff like that, and he was really mean to them, and like not letting them take time off, and like giving them all kinds of crap and stuff, and they turned the tables on him, and what they end up doing to him is insane. I thought Harley was great in this. It was like ridiculous. I love that segment. The other segment in this as well that was really good was this girl that was like a swimmer, and she was like in love with her coach, and her coach needed a new heart, and like what she does to get this coach the new heart. And there was another one on here, like an Easter one about like the Easter bunny, and how if you see the Easter bunny you become the next Easter bunny. There was actually some really 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 cool segments in this. One or two of them I didn't absolutely love, but for the most part, out of anthology films lately, this one had the strongest batch of like stories that I really remembered as well. But like, I like this one. Let me know if you guys have checked this one out and what you guys thought of it. But for the most part, I really liked all like the segments in this one. And like I said, all these directors too are like, Kevin Smith did one. The director of Starry Eyes did one of the segments. So a lot of people like, and they even had one that was kind of like a Wicker Man type segment as well. The next one here from E1 is one called Happy Birthday, and this was a pretty fun movie about these two friends that go to Mexico, and the one friend is kind of depressed, and I think it was like his girlfriend was cheating on him, and he was like depressed about that, so they end up going to Mexico, and they plan this whole thing And of course, though, things go terribly wrong there, and they end up like meeting these two. Basically, they're there like trying to like just sort of drink and sleep with girls and like all this kind of stuff and get drugs and all this stuff. And of course, though, they end up going back to the hotel with these two girls, and they wake up the next day tied to the bed and not knowing what's going on. And they see like a camera in the room, kind of filming them, and it turns out it's some kind of a weird thing about a kidnapping with this cartel that's kind of like holding them for ransom because they believe the one friend has all this money, and it's kind of like all these things start to go very, very, very wrong. And Steven Tyler actually acts in this, playing this really funny guy like role in this, like really over the top. And Steven Tyler was actually, I don't think he's even. Oh no, he is listed on the back, but I really liked his part in this. Like, I hadn't seen him act in too many movies, but he was actually, because I know him more from Aerosmith and doing music, but he was actually really pretty funny in this one. I would definitely like to see him do more acting, but it was kind of like this whole mess of what happens, and some interesting stuff happens. It's one of those things like I don't want to say too much because there were some interesting, totally different things you weren't expecting happening in this one. Like I said, this one is called Happy Birthday. The last one here is from Brainstorm. Brainstorm Media. It's a movie called The Model, and it actually stars a supermodel in this one. I think her name is Maria Palm, who's like done work for tons of different stuff, and Ed Sheeran, who was in the new Transporter film, like the Transporter Reborn, and he was also in Deadpool. And just basically this woman who goes to Paris to try and be a model, and things are going okay, but she it's at first though it's like not looking like it's going to work out, but then she ends up kind of starting to see the model, the photographer guy, Ed Sheeran's character, and starts to kind of like him. They kind of start seeing each other. And once she starts seeing him, immediately more doors start to open, and he kind of like backs her, and she starts kind of getting an in with the industry and becoming kind of popular. This got some comparisons to the Neon Demon. It's not as like stylized as Neon Demon, but it does have that kind of feel. I like movies too that deal with like the modern industry and those kind of things, because there's not tons of movies dealing with this. The fashion industry, and this was actually pretty interesting, and it deals kind of with obsessions and also like people who are kind of doing things, kind of like saying certain things that get you to do stuff, and you can kind of tell that they don't really care too much for you. They're kind of using you. And it deals with all that kind of stuff in the industry, and like her as she's rising up, and then things start to go bad, and there's all kinds of problems going on along the way. But like I said, I thought this one was actually pretty good. Anyway though, guys, that's all for the review portion of this video. Thanks again for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.